First few weeks, just trying to settle in obviously for me it was about just trying to get as much fitness in as I can. But the whole experience has been really good for me, and I'm really happy that this is the team that I ended up at.
Happy you built your fitness up now. Obviously, you made your debut last weekend.
Yeah, no, I've always, you can always get a little bit fitter, I think, and probably, in football you're not really fit until you've played a good few games. But yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at. I've done, as much work as I can, with the staff. Few extra sessions on my own and stuff after training and that, trying to just fast track the fitness a little bit. And it was really nice to get 90 minutes under my belt, in the first team. And obviously that game went quite well for us and for me personally. To get the win was pleasing. So, I know that I'm doing all I can, but I also know that you're not really match fit until you've played a few games, really.
It's funny how football turns out. Your first game is away at Stoke, and your second game you play in Swansea.
Yeah, no, you couldn't make it up, really, could you? I don't think. For me personally, it's strange, but it's interesting, and especially with the first one being Stoke, with the team that I just immediately left, and seeing all those faces again on the weekend and playing at the stadium that I'd played at all last season. So we got through that one, and then now I'm facing Swansea. So it is strange the way the fixtures have fell, but I suppose why not? Try and get up and running as quick as possible.
I presume you still have very warm feelings towards the Swans.
Yeah, definitely. It's a club that I played for 9 years and was a big part of something that we did, which was massive, really, for the club and for all of us. And I'll never forget those times. Probably the best times in my career in terms of a whole period. So I know all the people down there still. That most of them are the same people. I've still got lots of friends there, and it's a city that I lived in for 9 years and really loved it.
I know you had a lot of options over the summer before choosing Bristol City. Was a return to the Swans ever a possibility?
No, not really. Not that I knew about. No, it wasn't. It was never something that was spoken about, really.
You said when you signed here that obviously Wales was a very big factor in that, wanting to kind of still be in sight, in mind. Weren't selected for the last squad because of the fact that you weren't playing. Have you had any contact with Ryan since the last squad closed?
No, nothing. But what we spoke for quite a while before, and I understood. I didn't expect anything differently, to be honest. I didn't expect to be called in when I was unattached. But he did say that if I get sorted and I'm playing, then obviously I'll still be back involved in the captain. So, in terms of that, I think everyone knows how passionate I am about Wales and how much I enjoy playing for them and love it there, and I would like that to continue for as long as possible. So, first and foremost, my focus is Bristol and, trying to do what we need to do here. And then off the back of that, then if that, puts me in a good position to still play for Wales, then brilliant.
What did you make of the performances in the qualifiers?
For Wales, the last one. It was difficult. I think that, and I knew it would be. I've played in so many of those games before where you're expected to walk it, and it's never like that. I think we probably could have performed better than we did, and we all know that. As a group, we won't be happy with that, and we'll have to do a bit of work to see what went right and what went wrong. But it's a difficult game, and I believe that those kind of games are just get the job done, however way you get it done, and then learn from it and move on, really.
You can have real competition if you're back in the next squad, because obviously Joe did really well. Chris Metham's establishing himself, and James Chester's coming back to fitness. It's a good option for Brian.
Yeah, no, I think it's really good as well for Wales with the players that we've got coming in. James Lawrence as well, you missed off that list, and he's done really well when he's been called upon. So, it looks good. And as I say, for me, for my own, as being a player for Wales, and yeah, definitely, I want to play as many games as I can, get as many caps as I can, and still be the captain and stuff. But for all of us, it's brilliant that we've got competition right across the board now. And as you say, at centre half, we're quite strong. I'm pleased for Joe Rodon. I think he's a great lad. I know him well from when I was at Swansea. And I always thought he'd be a good player, and I really tried to help him. And, we have a good relationship anyway, me and Joe. So, I was pleased to see him make his debut, and the fact that he's doing well for Swansea as well is pleasing for him.
And hopefully that late goal puts the momentum back into the campaign, just like that goal in Andorra did in 2015.
Yeah, I think there is similarities to those two games, which I've seen being mentioned before. And as I say, it was always going to be. There's not many of those that you win 4-5-0 like everyone expects you to, and you can just walk through the game. They are difficult. The opposition make it very difficult. As I say, I thought we could have managed the game a lot better and played a lot better. I think that's quite obvious. But yeah, with the late goal and just getting the win anyway, then the friendly win as well. So hopefully we can take that into next month.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Ash, you said you had several offers there. What made you choose Bristol City? And I just wondered if you knew any of the lads here before you turned up, and maybe Liam Walsh, was he at Everton with you when you were there?
Yeah, there's a few lads in the dressing room that I knew. I knew Walshy from Everton, Bennett obviously from last season, Marley Watkins from Wales, Tommy Rowe from my Stockport days. We used to live on the same street, so there was a few boys that I knew in there. And for me, it was just that what the Gaffers built here, and the culture and the way that they go about it. They just missed out last season, but it's a young team and the club's got big ambitions, and with the manager not being that much older than me as well, and having spoken to him on the phone, I knew straight away that's where I wanted to be, and I felt like it would benefit me, and just in terms of what I would bring to a team now at this stage in my career, I thought it would probably be a good fit. And they're a young team. There's not that many older players in it. Probably my experience would be welcomed in the dressing room. And for me, it was just, they're already a good team and they already want to do something this season. So, yeah, perfect.
How have you found the first few weeks? I know you just said there that it's been easy going, but I wondered if you'd had to move down to Bristol, for example, or if you're coming over the bridge and you can be somewhere from South Wales maybe that you used to, or
no.
Used to be M4 again, or how's it been?
No, I'm just based down here at the minute, and in the hotel, as all new players always are. You get used to hotel life being a football player. But yeah, I'll get set up down here and be as close to the training ground and the stadium as possible. And it's been nice being in and around the city, and the city looks amazing from what I've seen. I really enjoy being down in the city centre, and everyone's been really welcoming and nice, and especially around the club as well. I think everyone's made me feel really welcome straight away.
You came up to Derby, I think, with the team, and then it took a few days for actually to go through officially. Why was that, and did it give you a chance maybe to have a look at the club at close quarters yourself?
Yeah, I think having spoken to the gaffer on the phone before that week, it was more just he needed to see me a little bit because I was saying that I was in shape, but maybe I wasn't, which is fair enough. And he wanted me to also come. He's been really respectful of me and and of my age and just maybe what I've achieved. But he wanted me to come down and see how they go about their work, and he left it open that both sides would kind of suss each other out a little bit and see what they made of it, and then we'd come to a decision, I suppose. And so I went up to the Derby game, and it was a brilliant win again. And then we spoke a lot in that week, and then I was training the whole week anyway, and then it was just the other issues that you leave to other people to get sorted. But I think after the first few days, speaking to the gaffer, we got on really well.
Yeah, what have you made of him on the training pitch? I might be fishing a little bit here, but does he remind you at all of a young Brendan Rodgers, maybe slightly? Because he plays that similar style, high energy, kind of pressing kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I don't like to compare people to other people, but I can see where you're coming from with that. Definitely, I've been really impressed with him, and as I said before, we're not that different in age, and he seems to have achieved so much already being a manager. Very hands-on. The way he goes about his working day or the working week has really impressed me with the attention to detail, the way he controls the whole group and the way he encourages everyone and provides such a nice environment to go to work. It does bear similarities to the time that I had with Brendan Rodgers. That I've said that to him and I've said that to other people. I'm not saying they're the same or similar, but just the environment that's been created where you enjoy going to work every day. It's not a negative environment, which I think is quite difficult to get that right in football, because it can go like that sometimes just on the nature of the sport and the way football players are, I suppose. But what he's created down here with a definite culture and identity to the team and the way he goes about work, I think it's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it.
Debut at Stoke at the weekend. Was it always the plan for you to be involved against your two former clubs this weekend and maybe next weekend? Was it just coincidence the way the fixtures are formed?
Well, when I first signed, it was we'd kind of earmarked Stoke not as a game to play, but as a game to be available to play if selected. So in terms of my fitness, it was, I think we had 2 weeks to get as much fitness in and then see where we were with the week leading up to Stoke. And then obviously Callas got injured as well. So that kind of made an opening, say, for a centre-half. So I just knew that in those 2 weeks I was going to try and get as much fitness in my legs and in my lungs as I can, and then see where we're at. And then, you know, with the week coming up, then the gaffer obviously made the selection. But I don't think it was, as far as I know, it wasn't like I'll put him in against his old team or two teams, or I think that maybe that's just the way the fixtures landed.
Just finally from myself, obviously there was the early red card against your former club at the weekend. When the board went up, I wondered if you thought you might be going off, or obviously Taylor got taken off and another striker came on. And how did you feel your debut went?
Yeah, no, I could see arguments for taking me off at that point because I hadn't played for so long, and you know, I appreciate that the gaffer trusted me to get the job done, and took Towers off, who I think is pretty obvious was just sacrificed. It wasn't nothing in that substitution, and obviously he's had an unbelievable start to his season this season as well. He's done really well, and I thought that from what I've seen, you know, with Bristol, we could probably play better than we did on the weekend. Especially we could start the game better, which I know the gaffer said as well. And in terms of the whole game, but I thought we reacted really well. And it's what I think people are forgetting is Stoke are a team fully loaded of good players. They're not a bad team. They've had a bad start to the season, but they're a very talented team, of which I know really well. So it was going to be a difficult game, and they're dangerous at the minute. They need a win. They're desperate for one, and even sometimes it makes it difficult. When they go a man down, they can hit you on the break, or you know, they can just shut up shop for the whole game. And I thought we managed it really well. We was patient. We didn't try and score straight away, and it shows the maturity in the group that, you know, we managed to get through that game with the 3 points, because it was a difficult one.
James, talk about your diet decision to go vegan. What was kind of the motivation behind that?
Well,
something you've been thinking of for a while, or was it someone told you?
Well, to be honest, I just watched a documentary, and then I just thought, oh, well, I'll give it a go and see if
Which one was that?
what the health,
Okay.
what most people have seen.
Yeah.
So it was just more like, well, that made me feel a bit sick, so I'll see if I can do it for like 4 weeks. And then within, I'd say 2 weeks, I'd lost some weight, and I looked a lot better physically, and I had way more energy, and I just more clarity in my thoughts and stuff. And then as I continued to do it, I just felt a lot better, really. You know, I didn't need a nap halfway through the day, which is typical for a football player. And I had more energy through the day. I was sleeping better as well. So it just worked for me, really. And then, it feels normal now. But, it felt like a big change at the time when I did it.
So when did you start?
Probably I started it about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been on it for a while.
And in terms of like recommending it for
Yeah.
older players, would be something you'd pass on?
Well, you know, I'm not going to be up here waving a vegan flag, but for me,
You're in a very vegan city.
yeah, I know, it's lovely, but I'm at home. But yeah, no, I mean, I can only speak for myself and tell people how I feel, or you know, how it's worked for me, and it seems to be working. Even if you take that, my last game was, when was the Wales game? June, I think, and then I didn't play a game of football right up until last weekend. And when I came down here, I was still keeping fit, but in terms of, you know, when I came here, I think my body fat was 7%, where probably if I wasn't vegan, it wouldn't have been. It would have took longer for me to get back into shape. So, you know, in terms of an athlete, it works, because there's quite a few of us now that are doing it, and I feel better for it. I feel better now at 35 playing football than I did when I was, you know, probably at Everton when I was 32. You know, full of energy, and obviously things decline as you get a little bit older. But I'm not sure I would have been playing or in the shape that I'm in now if I didn't go this way with my diet. So, you know, I can't say it's for everyone. I don't know, but it definitely works for me.